And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannahs.
It's like a slasher movie where both hosts are the final girl.
Fitting.
Yep. I was thinking hard about that one.
Because today's episode is on the new slasher movie, Psycho Killer. Except, not really a slasher, more like an investigative.
It wants to be a slasher.
I don't know if it knows what it wants to be. So that's as good of a start as any. Let me just jump in and some background. It's directed by Gavin Polone in his feature directorial debut. And it's written by Andrew Kevin Walker, the writer of Seven. So if you've heard of this movie, you probably heard of it because people were talking about it because it was coming from the writer of Seven.
That's all they really did to sell it.
They didn't even have trailers, really.
Yeah.
They had a poster, and they said the writer of Seven.
The rumor that everyone's spreading is that Disney tried to bury this movie. Was it Disney that owned it?
Yeah.
Yeah, or Disney owned the company that owned it.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Yeah, and I would buy that. The film stars Georgina Campbell, James Preston Rogers, and for some reason, Malcolm McDowell.
Hey, my guy was in Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, both of them. This is not beneath him.
I think this movie is beneath
It
the
is.
whole cast.
Rob Zombie Halloween 2 is, one of the best horror movies of the century so far, so...
Well, let me keep going with some background. As a reminder, since it's a new release, we will avoid spoilers until we tell you we're entering the spoiler zone.
Yep.
That was also a reminder for the two of us.
Yeah,
because I feel like this movie's going to be so... We're going to just want to, spoil everything.
Maybe we'll just be quick. We'll give our 10-minute... I was about to say 10-minute summary. our 10-minute summary of our thoughts.
Well,
and then get into it.
The director, Gavin Polone... This is his first film he's directed, but he's mostly known for being a film and television producer. He's produced movies like the Zombieland films, Panic Room, but he's also produced TV shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Hell yeah.
And Gilmore Girls.
All right. What made him want to direct? So he's got money? I don't know. I never understand what being a producer actually means, other than if you're like an executive producer, it's because you put money in. If you're like a producer, do you work for the production company? I don't really know. I wish someone would tell me.
I wish I could tell you.
All right. Keep hitting me fun facts.
And Andrew Kevin Walker, writer of Seven. He also wrote the Fincher film The Killer, and he has doctored scripts for Fincher, other scripts, including The Game and Fight Club. He also doctored the script for Event Horizon. He wrote scripts for Sleepy Hollow, 8mm, etc., among others.
I've seen Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
Someone wants us to cover that, but they asked 3 years ago and we never did.
Yeah,
so
our bad.
Yikes. Sorry.
Our bad. I don't
think it's that popular of a movie, unfortunately. Maybe someday. I'll rewatch it.
I don't know. I feel like all of his movies are popular to a
Tim
degree.
Burton's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the issue is we all know that I'm not a big Burton fan.
Yeah, so you're avoiding.
Yeah.
Okay, well, James Preston Rogers, I'm sure you don't know that name either. That is the actor playing the, quote, psycho killer. He was not an actor. He was a former professional wrestler. He does not even have a Wikipedia page.
That's how they did all the slashers before. I mean, that's fucking Kane. What's his name? Kane Hodder from the Friday the 13th series, who's played Jason for a long time. Just like a stunt guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not that. Now he's famous for that, but...
Yeah. But he has a great stature, so honestly, they nailed that.
Yeah, if they knew what kind of movie they wanted to make, he'd have been great.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that his voice, too?
Do you think that's his voice? I didn't look into that.
So.
I didn't find background on anything, really, specific to the acting. And I looked up no interviews because I didn't think they existed.
Yeah, they really don't, do they?
I doubt it. So this movie's gotten terrible reviews. We'll just put that out in the open.
The funny part was, a couple days before we saw it, it was sitting at a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Which is, kind of unheard of at this point.
Yes.
I feel like there's always shills for something or someone getting paid to give a good review.
I mean, even I've been watching these, straight-to-streaming bullshit movies.
And even they aren't rated that poorly.
They're not at 0.
I have a theory. So we know Disney owns everything and controls everything. Mm-hmm. What if they wanted this project to fail to prove a point? They've done that before, with Treasure Planet. They purposely tanked that movie with marketing so that it would fail so they could close their 2D animation studio.
Well, they definitely didn't want this
What
to
if
do
they
well.
just... Well, we've known before that I think they can, pay for reviews. So what if they paid for bad reviews.
There's not enough reviews in that I think that's happening. There's only 30 reviews at this point on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, all paid for by Disney to keep this movie down so they could fire somebody.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think they knew it was going to be a shitter, and that is why they didn't
market it.
Well, that's also why they didn't let anyone review it. None of the reviews were posted until Friday.
They did the old, what's it called? The embargo.
Yeah, the embargo didn't lift until Friday.
Here's the thing, guys. When
Not
movies
even Thursday, Friday.
have embargoes, typically that is a bad sign for the movie. Not always,
or it's
but typically.
A very hyped up,
or it's hyped,
big,
yes.
big
if it's
project.
A blockbuster,
yeah.
And also, if they need to say on the front a bunch, brought to you by the sick, twisted mind of the people that did this, and that's their main marketing, that's also usually a red flag.
Yeah.
Not always. Again, I liked him, but they did that with him.
Yeah, because they thought it was a stinker.
And people did think Tim was a stinker, but, you know, those people just aren't as smart as I am, so.
I'm not sure it's that.
They're not as stupid as I am. It might be that.
It's that. Okay, well, this is the first film widely released by Disney to have such a low Rotten Tomatoes score, specifically to have a 0, at least at that point in time. That was an IMDb
you tell me
fact.
these like Marvel shows are getting good ratings? They're paying for that shit. They're totally paying for that. Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's not a 0 anymore. There are 30 reviews at this point in time. When it was at a 0, I think there were like 22, 24. So we're recording this Monday night. What percentage would you guess are positive now?
10.
It's exactly 10%.
Whoa, I guess completely.
With 3 positive reviews.
Psychic.
That's so beautiful.
Reviews. Do you think that maybe they were trying to ride the tail of Scream 7 coming out as like a slasher film coming around the same time? They didn't really market it as a slasher though, other than calling it Psycho Killer.
Yeah.
But I guess that would require them marketing it at all.
Well, the issue here is that this film has been in development hell since the 2000s.
Oh, so the script was written in the 2000s?
So an early draft of the script appeared online in 2007.
Oh, yikes.
In March of 2009, Fred Durst announced that he was going to direct the film.
Really? Has he directed before? No, I'm feeling dumb.
I don't know shit about Fred Durst.
He was in I Saw the TV Glow.
Oh, yeah. I always think of him as... I always get confused with Robert Durst.
Oh, no, Fred, you like Fred Durst music because he's obviously of Limp Bizkit fame.
Yes.
And I also looked it up. He directed like 2 movies, but they're not super well known. Okay. But he's acted before. Like I said, he was in I Saw the TV Glow.
A great movie.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he did not end up directing the film. In 2010, Gavin Polone was announced as the director. So Gavin Polone has been attached to this movie since 2010. That's insane. And then they announced in 2010 that Eli Roth and Eric Newman would produce.
Hack.
Mm-hmm. In February of 2023 is when this movie really bounced up again, and it was reported that New Regency had greenlit the film. And Polone would direct the film. Which, again, first film he's directed.
He's been sitting on this for 10 years. This was his big break.
Well, at that point, it had
been producing, so
13 since he was originally announced.
Interesting.
13
this
years.
Movie does, I mean, it does have that 2000s feel. The thing is, I don't think this movie would have played that well in the 2000s. It would have played better. It probably would have been a 3D movie if it came out when it came out, too. It would have been like
God, the blood splatters.
My Bloody Valentine 3D, or... I mean, it also felt similar to like the Friday the 13th remake, which I actually kind of like, at least in comparison to the other movies. But here's the thing is like, Malignant ended the need for any movie like this ever again, in my opinion. If you're not going to elevate the slasher genre beyond this, it's like not worth being made anymore. And I blame Malignant. I like Malignant for that reason, because I feel like it created the icon of the killer in a good way. It was very campy and silly, making fun of it while also paying homage to old ones. And overall, it's like an entertaining movie, I think. It kind of takes the formula, and it's both a satire and a like homage. And I've talked about it a bunch, and people probably make fun of me for it. But I do think that like post-Malignant, a movie like this just comes off as like redundant now. And it's like, I thought we were kind of past this, you know?
I think we're past it.
Yeah.
As a society.
We might have been past it anyway, but Malignant was like the last, like, if it basically laid the framework of like, it needs to be more.
This is not a Malignant episode. In my head, I'm quoting Shut Up About the Sun, like screaming Gabe Lewis on The Office. So I'm in my head just screaming Shut Up About Malignant.
I think it's a reasonable thing to bring up, though, because it kind of buried this style of movie.
The thing is, I was going to say, it's like the last slasher that like really worked for me. That's not true. Hard Eyes.
Hard Eyes, exact. But Hard Eyes did something different. That's my point. Is it like is elevating to something else?
Yes.
I will also say we've enjoyed the Scream movies, but at that point, Scream was had already done what Malignant did, just in a different way. So it's like, and also it's more of a whodunit anyway. And so like that doesn't count as a slasher to me anymore. No. This is an actual slasher.
Well, what I will go back to is I think you can really tell that the script was written in 2007 because of all of those things. Like there's not a need for this movie, but there's also references to things that don't exist right now.
No, really, I do not remember, so enlighten me.
Hey, the big plot twist.
Oh.
I will go into that in the spoiler
okay, that's
section.
fine. All right, hold on. Yep.
It takes place somewhere that
I was thinking that while watching
right.
that, and I was like, oh, this is just a world where this exists now? Because I also had thought that place hasn't existed. Well, it's an island that doesn't exist anymore. We'll get to it.
It was written when it did exist, though. So that's why.
It's hysterical.
It's really funny.
Maybe just like not everything needs to get made.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let's get into. We've obviously made it known this movie is a stinker.
It's a stinker. It's
I have
not
so
the
many
worst
reasons why it's a stinker
I've ever seen.
Real quick,
it gets worse as it goes. Is what I would say.
It gets so much worse because it starts. The opening scene is like strong, and then everything else is like stinking.
It kind of just falls off as it keeps
pretty
moving.
immediately, frankly.
Yeah.
So you rated this higher than Primate on Letterboxd.
I agree. Yeah.
Can you explain that to me?
Do I have to? This one, I at least felt myself being entertained throughout. Like you
were entertained because it was bad.
Maybe. Primate really bothered me in a lot of different ways that I don't need to get into more since I was apparently a little bitch on that episode. But I found that this, maybe going in, I knew it was bad. So that helped. I think that there were actually some really good moments of tension that scared me in this. I did jump, especially during some gunshots. I thought this had some, sounds so fucked up, some really good gun violence in this movie where it actually like kind of chilled me to my bones. I felt that it like pierced me. And so that kind of worked for me more. And I do, the thing we're talking about later, I like the twist of this.
I think it's hilarious.
The twist is really funny. And I'm like, oh, I'm down for that. But then on other areas, it felt like they absolutely butchered a script that was there. That's the main thing is I felt that there was a script or screenplay that was there that like was interesting and they Swiss cheesed it.
What I feel like is there's a really fun first draft, like a rough draft that needed to be reviewed because some of the dialogue is still really shit.
Yeah.
I think that if they had someone punch up at least the dialogue parts and remove some scenes, I think it would work better. But what I think happened is this is a longer script that somehow did not get punched up, and then they cut at least a half hour of it from the cutting room floor.
Then they like ripped probably the wrong stuff in some areas.
There are some points that just don't make sense where they got from A to B, or there's scenes that just like don't make sense in the context of the film.
Death of a Unicorn movie.
Yeah.
This
where
one's
that
probably
goes
worse
from
in terms of that.
Dark to daylight.
Yeah.
No, this is actually worse. So if you thought Death of a Unicorn's continuity is weird, this is worse.
At least this one wasn't as tongue-in-cheek as Death of a Unicorn. At least this one's like a little sincere. It's stupid.
I don't think this one thinks it's that smart.
No, it doesn't.
So I think that helps a lot.
Definitely. It's just, as I was saying before, there are really interesting things here, especially if this is about like Satanists, which like I think anything about Satanists is also kind of dated because like we know that Satanists aren't what we think they are.
That's what I was going to say is another dated thing besides like the plot twist
and the satanic panic.
The concern, those concerns are just not prevalent in the way that they were.
There is a lot of Richard Ramirez Night Stalker imagery, I would say. And like that story is really interesting. And I think had they gone more that route,
the issue
it would have worked.
Is they also missed like the reignited Night Stalker media phase that we had, I think, during like COVID. There was some documentaries about him. Yeah. There was that season of American Horror Story that was based on him. And I feel like had this come out kind of around those times,
it feels very Night Stalker-like.
A wee bit better, but it still would be a stink.
You either make it more similar to that, or you cut the Satanism element and make it that he's just part of some other cult, other death cult, or I don't know. The Satanism thing just feels dated to me.
It does, but then the end twist doesn't work the same way.
Facts.
And the end twist is the funniest part of the movie.
That's fine.
Best. But if you don't have that, I don't know where the movie's going.
I was going to say, you do like a Cthulhu cult with the same thing. Trying to open a portal.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's my whole point, though, is it's just the Satanism thing's dated. However, I like the whole serial killer Richard Ramirez angle, and I think that would have been interesting had they tried to hit what made that scary versus try to do some over-the-top gore and do some silly things about Satanists. So
yeah, I think all of the Satanist stuff is so dumb. They're painting he's painting pentagrams in blood. And that's in the trailer.
Drinking blood at one point.
Why do we need this? Nothing. And then there's a drug cult, a drug sex Satanist
they're
cult.
Fake Satanists. That's Malcolm McDowell's.
So, and that just storyline is just
that part
dumb.
Needed to just be gone.
And again, we'll elaborate when we feel like we can without spoiling the movie.
A road trip movie about a serial killer is interesting. And a road trip movie about the person trying to hunt down the serial killer is interesting. Everything else, bad.
Yeah.
And his motives are interesting.
I also feel like this movie, there's a lot of okay, boomer stuff for me. They're blaming part of his killing on listening to heavy metal music, or at least his inspiration is connected to heavy metal music. There's so many stupid things.
I want to get to that. Can you bring up the heavy metal music thing again? Because I thought that had something to do with, I thought this was going to be a whodunit a little bit about who is the killer, and the band being involved made that make sense, and that was something that felt like it was scrapped, so that was confusing.
There's got to be something else.
But yes, there's some boomer shit. Again, it dated itself.
I really think, besides the fact that a quarter of the movie just ended up on the cutting room floor, I think, like I mentioned, I think the dialogue is terrible.
2000s horror movie dialogue.
It's so bad. She there's a point where she talks to an FBI lady. The FBI lady says, "I'm not supposed to be telling you this," but 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
It just it feels so artificial. That's not how people talk. It's how people in a Lifetime movie talk.
Definitely.
It's how people in a straight to streaming Tubi movie talk.
Yeah.
It's not how people talk. And I think that makes it hard to suspend disbelief with a lot of it.
That was something, and you and I have said that we're pretty good at that. There were a couple things throughout this that made it hard. His voice was one of them.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about that.
Well, he wears a cool mask, but his voice is this weird omnipresent surround sound voice that is deep and clearly isn't coming from the person there. And it's not muffled at all, so it feels like they're not in the room, and it fully takes you out of it.
Yeah, it feels like someone's standing behind you with a mic and a sound system.
And not in a cool way, they were some omnipresent being.
No. I also feel the issue with that is I could believe it if that voice is coming from a mask. Because you could just imagine there's a mic in there or something that's projecting or changing his voice. But he also talks like that without the mask on.
Mm-hmm. It's very odd. That's a moment of nitpick, but it's hard. Sound is a really tough thing when it comes to suspension of disbelief.
I think...
voices. Yeah. It's an uncanny thing.
It is extremely uncanny.
I need to say nice things about this movie now for a second.
Wait, real quick, I did want to ask, since I just mentioned his little mask. Do you like his little mask?
I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, I also like his little sunglasses and long hair. It reminded me of Rob Zombie's Michael Myers a little bit. So I enjoy it, especially in 2. He doesn't wear the mask a lot. He only puts the mask on to kill. A lot of times he walks around as this bum with a beard and grifter.
Bro.
Bum. He's actually homeless, so now
bro.
He's Michael Myers. I can call him a bum. And that's kind of interesting that he's kind of road tripping through that, and so I got vibes here of that. But I don't know, he wasn't sleazy enough, and we never see him. I would have loved to see him again. The Ramirez angle, make him gross.
Never see his face,
which is also a slasher faux pas. You got to show the face at least once.
I mean, we also barely see the face even with the mask on.
Yeah,
I think that they think the mask is bad too.
I didn't dislike the mask.
I think it's fine. I think it's scarier in the poster than it is in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think when they got too close on his face with the mask on, it's a little weird. But from far away, I think it is creepy enough. And it makes sense that he would wear a mask to disguise himself.
Yeah. So I have a couple things I like. Can I say them now?
Yes.
Okay. I actually like the way this movie looks, whatever they shot it on. I like that it doesn't have that weird sheen. It has a little grime. Happy about
especially the opening
and the
scene.
grit. And that's the main thing is I think the opening scene is really tense and interesting. And I said before, a highway serial killer road tripping is really, really interesting. It's scary because it basically starts with like a cop stopping him and there's a traffic stop. And he kind of holds all the power dynamics changing, and it ends with a very good jump scare, a noise jump scare that is intense and scary. So I liked that a lot. I wish it just went that route.
And it didn't.
I feel like this is one of those movies I'd like to rewrite. I like the core premise. Let me rewrite it.
I honestly think we could punch up this movie so well, and it's a shame they didn't think to hire us.
Yeah, they should have.
In 2010.
I want to combine this and another movie we didn't like, which was In a Violent Nature.
Yeah.
Have it be a road trip movie where we're with the serial killer the whole time. Maybe we're with them and then we get pulled into other people's perspectives that they interact with. Like something, I don't know. Something like that would work for me. I will also say it's unfortunate our girlie from Barbarian I don't think was great in this, but I also don't think she was given much to work with.
I don't think it's her fault at all.
But
I think it's the script's fault almost exclusively. This scene, since you mentioned the opening scene being cool, it's shot well, the sound is good, it has texture. I think the opening credits were kind of fun too. They're a little long, but they're cool, and I think
they were trying to play on the
Seven's
Sevens opening credits, kind of.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? Fuck it. I liked them.
Okay. Can we get into spoiling this movie?
Before we enter the spoiler zone, we did ask people on social media, what is your favorite film about a real or fictional serial killer? So I did want to go through some of the answers.
I'm going to say one. Can I say one?
Seven or Zodiac? What are you saying?
No, I was going to say, I think, isn't it fair to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre since it's based on multiple killers? Or is it just based on Ed Gein?
It could be based off of real or fictional. Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, the prompt
I don't know if he
specify.
actually ended up killing 3 people. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then.
I think that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Movie Postmortem Podcast said Psycho. It's Sarah Time said not a film, but I loved Bates Motel.
Wait, Psycho and Bates Motel also based on... Oh, real ones. My bad. Losing my mind. Go ahead.
Bree Hart's Horror said Zodiac. Heather J. Stewart also said Zodiac. Christopher Lackenmeyer, I'm so sorry, Christopher, I probably didn't say that right, said, I love a lot of serial killer movies. Silence of the Lambs, American Psycho, Resurrection, but Seven's the best.
Yeah.
Steinmetz.Ethan said, as much as I want to say Trap for the laugh, it's got to be Silence of the Lambs.
Great pick.
And Cinema's Charm, our girl, said, if you couldn't have guessed it already, knowing me, mine is I Saw the Devil.
What was Cooper Trapp's serial killer name? The Butcher?
The Butcher.
All I can think about is Cooper. I heart Cooper Trap.
I heart Cooper Trap. We did say that a lot. Like, excessively, maybe.
All right, let's enter the spoiler zone starting now.
Now we're entering the spoiler zone! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the spoiler zone. After this point, you're going to hear some things that you might not want to hear.
All right, now that we're in it, are you ready to do our little 15-second summaries?
Oh, good God.
All right, I pulled up my calculator instead of my own thing. I've done that multiple times. Okay.
I always pull up my calendar instead of my timer.
It's a tough app to
alarm
find.
app. I don't know why.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Satanist serial killer kills people, and his whole agenda the whole time, apparently, was to open a gate to hell through blowing up 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant.
Yup. That's the best part.
It's so funny.
So
I was worried
ready?
I wasn't going to get there because I was going to make a joke, and then I panicked, and then I was like, you know what? I have to just get to the good stuff.
Part. Yeah, let me see how I would say it.
Okay, go.
So a Satanist kills a whole church of people in a Satan church, but then goes to jail and dies, but then he's actually alive and we have no idea how. So then he goes and tries to blow up 3 Mile Island to commit suicide, to die once again, to open up the gates to hell to serve his master Satan.
Hell yeah, brother.
Why was it that guy? They set it up the whole time that it was like, it implied to be him, but it was a copycat. I was like, okay, it's a copycat.
Yeah,
This is
but it
interesting.
wasn't.
It's a member of this band who was really inspired that wrote a song about the guy. We never learned how he escaped, or he was killed in prison. And then he was alive and he escaped. Like, was it Captain Jack Sparrow at the beginning of, was it the beginning of what's it called? Pirates of the Caribbean 2 when he's coming out of the prison in the coffin?
I've seen people theorize on what they were trying to do, and the plot summary also
Explains
ties
it.
that in a little bit.
Okay.
So why don't I just read it and
That's
then we'll
fine.
discuss.
This isn't like nitpicking because it's actually just confusion over what they were trying to do with their plot.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Like,
sense.
I don't want to be like, this movie has plot holes, but it's more when you
it's
set
all a
up
plot
a
hole.
theory and you set up like you set up a situation for me to try to figure out who is doing it, and then the answer doesn't make sense. It's annoying.
Yeah.
So, or the answer was just really uninteresting. That's what pisses me off. You did the least interesting thing you could do by the guy that's dead that we thought was doing it the whole time was actually the one doing it. Oh, that's the twist is that it was the guy that everyone thought it was.
Okay, well, let me get into it, and I'll explain why I think they thought they were doing
Hannah's
something.
doing the plot description today because she's the best. And
Matt was walking the dog
I was
in the snow.
walking Norton. Yep.
Okay. Highway Patrol Officer Jane Archer witnesses her husband being murdered by a serial killer dubbed by the media as the satanic slasher due to the occult symbols left behind at the crime scenes. She becomes obsessed with tracking him down and bringing him to justice.
Can I just say, what the hell is that name? I rolled my eyes every time they said it. The satanic slasher. Gross.
Well, and then like the movie's called Psycho Killer.
He should have been called the Psycho Killer.
It's like, you pick one.
Also, he's a highway killer. It's so cool. I think we already had highway killers, but go with that.
Yeah, we've had tons of those.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. The slasher murders a pharmacist in a small town and raids the pharmacy for a variety of pain medications. Later, he murders 2 stranded motorists on a country road before violently killing a Catholic priest and drinking his blood. The slasher is heavily implied to be a murderous satanic preacher named Richard Joshua Reeves, who held his congregation hostage and then killed them, but he was said to have died in prison. Jane tracks the slasher's killing spree, which began on the West Coast across the Midwest. During her travels, Jane discovers she's pregnant. She meets FBI investigator who informs her that the slasher has been taking the stolen medications himself. She discovers where he's likely headed next. In Nebraska, she finds the slasher staying in a motel where he attacks her before fleeing. The slasher goes to a satanic mansion run by a man named Mr. Pendleton, which is Malcolm McDowell. The slasher uses Satanist Marvin to track down Leonard Wilkes, the manager of a nuclear power plant 3 Mile Island in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He then kills Pendleton and his followers, except for Marvin. The slasher's goal is ultimately revealed to be to destroy 3 Mile Island by self-detonating in a suicide mission to, quote, open the gates of hell and appease Satan. Jane catches up to him and warns the other guards. Jane breaks through the window of the control room where the slasher's armed with explosives and manages to incapacitate him by shooting him. Jane is left traumatized from her ordeal while the slasher is revealed to be Reeves, who is brought to a prison in Death Valley, California, where his spree began. Okay, so...
Is there a prison in Death Valley? We've been there.
No. Not
I saw that and I was like, this is so dumb.
aware of.
Also, shout out 3 Mile Island. That's like deep Pennsylvania lore in my mind.
That shit is so fucking funny.
And
everyone
do you
knows
know? Everyone
about
does?
it,
Okay. I feel like as a Pennsylvanian as myself.
I think everyone knows because I didn't grow up in Pennsylvania.
You knew about 3 Mile Island?
Yeah,
You're in New
course.
Jersey though. That's close.
Well, the reason why I said you can tell this motherfucker was written in 2007 is because 3 Mile Island doesn't operate anymore. It was shut down in 2019.
Huh. See, I always assumed it was shut down after their meltdown or whatever it was.
It functioned in some capacity.
How did we not? I know I've read up on 3 Mile Island so many times and I always forget why it didn't turn out worse. Who knows?
Beats me, bro.
That's like the
Not
big,
my business.
Yeah, it scares everybody. I love it. Make a movie about 3 Mile Island. That'd be interesting. Or like a alternate history one. That's what was cool about this.
That
I was
would be
like,
kind of a crazy horror movie. That'd be scary as fuck.
Yes. Yeah, like 3 Mile Island overreaction. Or he set this movie back in the day. Set this movie when the reaction happened and he caused the reaction.
It to open the gates of hell.
That would have been sick.
That would have been awesome.
And then the gates of hell actually open and now we're in some cosmic horror movie.
That would have been kind of awesome. Yeah. Okay, so what you were talking about with like him being alive the whole time and like what the fuck was that? So earlier in the movie, according to people who I listened talk about this movie, they there's like a radio broadcast saying that the government is experimenting on criminals in some capacity. So like there's this theory that he was taken into prison and then they were experimenting on him and he either broke out or they let him out somehow, and then he is more evil now and is doing
because
even
they
worse
experimented on
things.
him.
And then they had to get him back. But that's why like the FBI is totally useless in the movie.
Oh, and that's why at the end they're like,
we got you back, my mans.
well, and then also they tell everyone else he's dead.
And that's why they're announcing on TV
That's fine.
misinformation about what happened.
What interesting things
they
happened
say
by the fact that he was experimented on?
Okay. But they say, like, we see where she shoots him, like, in the chest and the arm or leg. And then they say on the broadcast he died by head injury, by gunshot. So, yeah, we do know that there is some sort of, like, media lying. Yada,
and the FBI sucks at their job the whole time.
They suck. So
that's interesting too, that he's an MK Ultra plant and they drugged him up, but they don't do anything with it.
Like they barely hint at it, and then at the end they don't even fully explain that. There's like a single scene that's like, "You're back, my man."
That's like classic. I can't think. Classic
I feel like they
CIA.
were just trying to go with another plot twist that wasn't set up enough at all.
But that is classic, like CIA conspiracy theories. Is that they're like they find troubled kids, give them acid and a gun, and that's how we get like mass shooters. Yeah, that's a thing that people have said for a bunch of times. I don't know how true it is, or it's MK Ultra.
And I don't know because I didn't pick up on it in the movie. I need to rewatch it, I guess, which I won't be doing unless I'm
I will not be.
Really high.
No, not even. There are way better movies I would put on.
That's
way better.
True.
Fast and Furious, all right.
Valid.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
I like This Is the End a lot when I'm on.
Yeah,
something.
sure, it's a great one. Yeah,
that
I'm not
movie's
watching
fucking
this.
funny as hell. Okay, so.
This is a movie that will be out of my brain so fast.
It will not be out of my brain. It's hilarious. And I love it for how bad it is. But I laughed a lot in this movie. I was having a good old fucking time.
But you weren't laughing at what you were supposed to be laughing at.
No, I was laughing because
you and I both were like snickering.
When I put together certain things, I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, the 3 Mile Island thing was awesome when he kept leaving 3MI everywhere, and then his symbol was actually a nuclear symbol. That was hilarious. We were dying in the theater.
I was like, not the tattoo being
that's
symbolic of what his plan is.
That's an interesting thing. Well, wait, now what we're saying is it's a government plan actually to set off the nuclear reactor.
Who the fuck?
That's a great idea
knows?
Again, but we didn't. Why is he drinking priest blood, and why do we have a 30-minute escapade with the satanic cult that
he's drinking priest blood because he's a Satanist, and that's what they do, Matt.
That's what they do. What?
Didn't you know Satanists drink blood
of priests? That's the only time he does it. He kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
And also, then why do we need to do this whole satanic cult thing that was boring? Is it so we could get the movie's boob quota?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like that Pendleton cult story feels entirely useless and stupid. Like they just really wanted to show some satanic orgy.
Yeah, that was boring.
And I don't know why.
It didn't do anything. It needed, I'd say you move that, cut that, and then add in whatever else you cut out that made the story better.
They're trying to like show that he very, very genuinely believes what he's out here to do. Oh, that's right. Because they're fake. They're fake Satanists. He's like, they're super fake. And there's one guy, he's like, you're a real believer because you're not participating in some of this bullshit. So I'll save you. Run away. I won't kill you. And it's like, why are you saving anybody? But also, this guy?
Out of character.
I was also like, this guy seems fake as hell. And he's not a real Satanist.
Another loose plot thread. What was up with all the painkillers and the drugs he was stealing?
Great point, because I don't know. Is it to cause hallucinations or to like maintain some relationship with Satan because he's whacked out of his mind? Yeah. I don't know.
Or like it'd be interesting if he was trying to cure himself of whatever the government did to him, if that's the route we're going. I don't know.
But
that's another we just watched Zodiac recently. Great film. The whole part where the guy calls in and is like, I have headaches. And when I kill, like the headaches go away. That's probably not even the actual Zodiac killer. It's a faker. But still, like that's at least interesting that it's someone trying to hold back from doing their evil deed. It seems like they were trying to do so much stuff in this and did none of it.
Yeah.
Other than the cool 3 Mile Island part, which wasn't even that cool. How was he gonna melt it down? He had a way. He was going to blow it up. That's right. He was doing it. But you wouldn't have even seen his plan come to fruition. That's what's boring.
But he would have opened the gates of hell.
He would have opened the gates of hell. Would have burned a hole down to hell.
And would have been sick.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta die to make sure that your shit goes to plan. I don't know.
So you can go be with Satan.
Yeah, man.
You wouldn't even be with him. He would have come to the earth.
I don't know,
No, I'm
bitch.
fucking
That's
around.
not my problem.
All right. Those are my big complaints.
One of my complaints is that the name is Psycho Killer, and the one time that we hear anyone call him Psycho is when she looks over his seemingly dead body and says, "Go to hell, Psycho." And it's just the worst dialogue
That's what he
I've
wants.
ever
That's what he's
heard.
trying to do.
Yeah. He'd say thank you for wishing that for him.
He didn't even get to go. He went back to the Death Valley Asylum. The Arkham Asylum of Death Valley.
I kept thinking of it as Arkham Asylum once I
This is
heard
actually,
that theory.
He's actually like Professor Pig or Victor Zsasz, and Batman's about to show up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a prequel to the next Batman movie.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yay.
It's funny though, because again, there were still parts that I liked, because the gunshots, when he killed people with guns, it was scary. The opening scene when she killed her husband, insane. The 3 Mile Island stuff, really stupid, but it made me laugh, and so I enjoyed. And I thought some of like the car scenes were fun. Again, anytime he was on the highway or like randomly killing, fun.
Yeah.
And interesting. And it brings me to Halloween Kills, I think it is. That scene where Michael Myers is just walking through the neighborhood, just killing indiscriminately, is harrowing and scary and really interesting. Do you remember that part? Where he's like goes and grabs the hammer. It's a longer. It's a longer. I almost called it a longer.
A longer.
Sounds inappropriate. I'm going to start calling. If it's not a oneer movie, it's just a longer. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's doing one of those. Like that was cool. Give me that, I guess. Steal that. I don't know.
Yeah.
This movie wants to be something it's not. I don't think it knows what it wants to be.
I don't think it knows. I think it has like 14 different objectives.
And it's not even going to make money.
And that they've removed all of the things that make those objectives make sense.
Similar to what I said about Primate, this is the kind of movie that gives horror movies a bad name. But at least I was entertained more than I was with Primate.
Fair enough.
And at least this one got marketed poorly, so no one's going to actually see it except for
true.
actual heathens
That's
like
true.
us. Actual Satanists, whatever we are. No, we're
call me
masochists by putting ourselves through some of this
And you know what? That's valid. So let me just go through in quick succession all of my notes.
Okay.
Because it's basically just like one compliment and then shitting on it.
I'll try not to rant about your ranting.
Yep. Okay, stylish opening credits, strong
Yep.
first scene. We talked about that. Quickly unravels into tonal chaos and some really fucking bananas choices that make it hard to take serious, like the truck explosion, which Matt had tummy problems, and Matt
I've
had
never
to
had
leave
this
the
happen in a
theater
movie
to
theater.
shit his
I had
pants.
to leave for the theater for a little bit.
And so Matt completely missed like the most bananas thing that I've ever seen. So
It was like a Fast and Furious movie. It sounded great.
he like pulls over because this couple's fixing a tire. The girl's in the car, the guy's fixing the tire. He goes up behind the guy, bashes his head in. The girl's listening to music, doesn't notice. And then she finally notices, and then she starts running from him. And then this like semi truck is driving down the road, and she's in the middle of the road being chased. And he's like very close to her. And then the stupid semi truck tries to stop and skids and like collapses on its side and runs into her and kills her and then blows up. And somehow he's out of the way suddenly that he doesn't get hit by the truck, even though he's like right behind her, and the truck explodes. It's the silliest shit I've ever seen. And that was where I knew this movie was, I already had my suspicions, and that is where I was like, the fuck.
See, it all went downhill from there, though.
It really
When
did.
they stopped doing stuff like that and started focusing on weird, like, sex cult,
Yeah.
that wasn't even interesting. So.
Yeah.
I've used the word interesting a lot recently. I feel like David Lynch at the end of The Fabelmans. So.
Other wild moments that make it hard to take seriously, the plexiglass gun scene. That's at the end.
I actually kind of liked that.
I hated it.
Okay.
She shoots at this plexiglass that's like bulletproof so many times until there's like a tiny hole in it.
So then she can put her
points
sniper through, her hunting rifle through.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. It was kind of cool, but it was silly that no one else thought to do it. It was like her and the one guy.
And that guy ran away.
And then he ran away, yeah.
Also, that guy was like, I have another way in. And then they get there and it's like a bulletproof window. And he was like, just kidding.
And the fact that nobody else, it's fine. I'm nitpicking, but
yeah.
I didn't mind the bulletproof glass thing.
Yeah.
The plexi. There's no such thing as fully bulletproof, you know.
Fair enough. She did shoot it a lot for it to get that way. The 3 Mile Island reveal is so funny that it's hard to take seriously. But, you know, whatever. I kind of loved it. The killer's voice is agonizing. We talked about that. The satanic imagery is, like, cartoonish. There's a lot of random plot threads that go nowhere, like him killing the pharmacist and taking the painkillers, like we talked about. The Pendleton cult story feels stupid and useless.
They just needed that so he could do a slow-mo axe killing spree that was not nearly as harrowing or interesting as when he just shot people with a gun in a scary way.
I just think the way it was shot was absolutely ridiculous because that was the only scene that's slow-mo and it did not need to be slow-mo. And then, in addition to the slow-mo of it all, there was like blood splattering that looked very cartoonish and just didn't feel in line with the rest of the movie. This movie was supposed to be in 3D. And that's what I said when you said 3D earlier. I was like, the blood splatters. Mm-hmm. But I think if that's what you're doing stylistically with that scene, you either had to like do it the whole time and just like commit to being
No, they make you wear the glasses the whole time just for that scene.
Oh my god. And then I said the forced dialogue, and then finally, I think one of the biggest faux pas of this movie is that she is investigating him and like tracking him down because he killed her husband in front of her. But the film never meaningfully explores her grief or her pregnancy and the grief that would come up because of that. And it just relies on all this other stupid shit. Mm-hmm. And I just think, don't make this a semi-grief story if you're not going to do shit with it that's meaningful at all.
Yes, I think it's just the text. But yeah, I mean, they don't do anything.
No.
It's more just motivate her, which is, I think that's fine.
I just then don't make her pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
She was pregnant. All right, I don't have too much more to say, and there's no themes. There are no themes to this movie.
I think my best guess is that the theme was supposed to be like, the government hides things from us. Government conspiracies might be real.
They're working with the bands to turn us into Satanists.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That was so boomer.
That's like...
When she's explaining it, it's so
They're
funny.
putting things in the water. They're turning the freaking frogs gay.
Where the fuck is that from?
Alex Jones.
Oh my god.
You ever heard him say that?
No.
Yeah. I have a really good Alex Jones impression. Like a lot of impressions.
That's crazy. Okay.
I killed those... I can't do it right now.
Oh, you can't
say that one.
You can't say that one. Do you have any hot takes about this movie?
Rest in piss, bozo. He's not dead. But... All right.
Hot takes about this movie?
No. It's not good, but it's better than some shit I've seen. It's better than Primate.
That is a hot take. That's a hot take. It's the hottest one
I
yet.
enjoyed it more than Primate.
And that's a different thing. I think that's fair. My hot take, maybe, is that the Pendleton cult is good at interior decorating. There is a skeleton lamp that was rad
If I
as
could
fuck.
make my apartment look like that year-round, I would.
Dude.
I would scare everybody.
Bro, some of that
could do some
decor was
Satan-
sick. It was like a rib cage with a lamp on top. It was awesome.
Let's just do that for Halloween. Or for
I want to buy that
scare
lamp
everyone.
for full year round instead of that giraffe lamp that we have. It's funny
I like
as
the
fuck.
giraffe lamp.
I like it. It's really funny. It is a really funny gift. But like, imagine that being a skeleton.
Maybe someday when we get real furniture, we can get skeleton couches or something.
Who the fuck? A skeleton couch?
Yeah.
No, I already have
With a
like
bunch
a
of skeletons
couch
on
picked
it.
out. We're getting like
Just
a
making
Navy
shit up.
sectional.
Oh, okay. Boring. Can we get a skeleton blanket?
That's boring.
Okay,
boring.
fine.
Skeleton lamp or bust.
Okay, all right, that's fine. We can just get a skeleton and hang it up in the corner. A real one. You can buy real human skulls.
Anna, who has been on the podcast, has one of the like anatomy skeletons in her apartment because
I'm talking about getting a real skeleton.
I don't know how that works.
You can buy skulls on the internet. That'd be weird. Is that wrong? No, I feel okay about it. If somebody donated their skull to be bought by people like us, then that's what they wanted.
I don't like that.
All right.
I don't feel good about
it.
Okay, we're going to do This or That Movies written by Andrew Kevin Walker
Okay.
or doctored by him. Normally we do the movie that we watched versus any other movie, but we know damn well it's going to be every other movie but Psycho Killer. That's just the reality.
You'll go and then just whatever
Whichever
is
one you
ahead.
like better
Yeah, okay.
will continue on.
Go ahead.
Okay, Psycho Killer or Sleepy Hollow?
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow or The Killer?
The Killer.
The Killer or Event Horizon?
The Killer.
The Killer or The Game?
The Game.
The Game or Fight Club?
Fight Club.
Fight Club or Seven?
7.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
All right, you ready?
I haven't seen a lot of these actually.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
I'll
Deleting
be
2.
fairly useless. Okay.
Psycho Killer or Event Horizon?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon or the game?
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon or Fight Club?
I barely remember Fight Club, but I feel like it's probably Fight Club.
Fight Club or Seven?
7.
Yeah, Seven's, it's not even fair.
It's not fair.
Great film.
That's why they advertised it that way.
All right, well, anything else we want to say? Let's hear, can we rate this thing?
Let's rate it. I don't even know what
I'm
the
easy. I
fuck
gave it a
to do
4
with
out of
this.
10 on the normal scale.
That's so silly.
I gave it 2 stars.
That's
I've seen
ridiculous.
worse. Annabelle was worse.
Are you sure you've seen worse?
At least like there was some scary scenes and some entertaining scenes. There was a lot of bad in between, but and the movie wasn't ugly. I will give it that.
Some of it was.
Some of it was, but not all of it.
Okay. On the scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then on Dalton's scale?
Maybe a 3. I don't know. It was funny.
On a Dalton scale, I'm probably giving it a -4. It's not a full-on -5, but no.
The Dalton endorsement scale, I'm giving it a -4.5.
Okay, pretty much on the same page there.
The half is because it's funny. So if you have A-list, honestly, I'd still tell you to go. You'll be entertained.
I give it the 4 on mine because I think like I was entertained, but I don't really want to recommend it, nor would I endorse it.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Okay, well, if that is all of it, then I've been
We're
Matt
good.
Hannah.
I'm Hannah.
This is Horror at the Hannahs. Stay tuned
and stay scared.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Welcome to Twin Peaks. I'm your Twin Peaks veteran, Special Agent Matt Hannah.
And I'm your first-time viewer, Sheriff Hannah.
And each week, we're visiting David Lynch and Mark Frost's Twin Peaks on our new show, Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast.
Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
We're talking dreams, damn fine coffee.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
Back we're talking mysteries.
And asking the important questions like, who really killed Laura Palmer? Are the owls what they seem? And why does this town feel like a nightmare you don't want to wake up from?
It is happening again.
Whether you're a longtime Twin Peaks resident or stepping into the Black Lodge for the very first time, Welcome to Twin Peaks is your guide through the woods.
What kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
New episodes every week wherever you get podcasts.
And be sure to follow our socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast for schedules and opportunities to call and write into the show.
I'm gonna turn it upside down!
The mysteries are dense and the secrets are dark. Stick around for a sneak peek of our very first episode of Welcome to Twin Peaks.
I said my New Year's resolution
Was to start the show?
To start the show.
So we watched the pilot on New Year's Day.
Yes.
And we said, all right, it's time.
Yes.
And
it
we
is.
are running with this. So if you haven't seen the show before, welcome. If you have, welcome back. And so how we're going to kind of run with this is Hannah has never watched the show. She's aware of plot points, but
Yes.
I would be considered the veteran as the person who's watched it all through once. However, I would say it quickly became my favorite show of all time. After finishing it, and I would stand by that. So I will be your Special Agent Dale Cooper to your Harry S. Truman as I guide you through the world of the unknown here. As our first time watcher, I need to know initial thoughts.
I liked it. I also think that the show does a really great job the way it cuts from one scene to the next with like what they're choosing to display in each scene. Like, they cut from finding Laura's body and being like, that's Laura Palmer, to her mom in the home, like, Laura, come down for breakfast. Like, Laura, where are you? And I think those scenes being back to back is really upsetting and chilling. And I think decisions like that are very meaningful.
This is a very chilling show
Yeah.
altogether. There are cheery moments as we watch the Log Lady intro vignette, which we'll be doing for all of these. This is a funny show. This is a very deeply sad show, and you're going to get a little bit of everything. And I do think that this first pilot actually exemplifies that in a really amazing way, because we do get a little bit of everything. Next thing is we have vibe checks.
Yeah, so we're going to give our vibe rating from 1 to 10 for a couple characters. The next character that I had a vibe check for is Dale Cooper. And my vibe score was 11,000 out of 10.
Of course.
I love him.
It's so funny. How could you not? He is so odd.
He's so
And,
quirky, but
yeah.
smart, but also like there's like this sweetness about him talking about like the trees.
And his damn fine cup of coffee. Oh, we haven't gotten there yet, but yes.
But yeah, like he's like, oh, I like stopped at this diner on the way here and had the best slice of cherry pie. Like,
it is funny hearing someone talk. Everyone loves Dale Cooper.
Okay, my next vibe check was Sheriff Harry S. Truman, and I gave him a 10 out of 10.
It's funny for people that we have a lot of issues with propaganda and like are clearly very distrustful of authority in the police. I can't help but love my FBI agent and love my small town sheriff.
Sheriff Harry S. Truman, I was like, I feel like he's so nice. I need to be suspicious.
I mean, even the way he handles talking to the parents.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, like good cop.
And he like,
good person.
He's the one who goes to speak to Leland, wasn't he?
My other vibe check, 10 out of 10. Log lady, Margaret.
I love the scene where they're like...
Who's the lady with the log? We call her log lady. Also, having the vignette of her, I love... I would have not watched them before. So I would recommend everyone who's watching it go on YouTube and watch the intros before every episode because I think it's really cool. And they were also recorded way after the show had ended. So there's like a lot of...
It's interesting.
So yeah, that's like a very fun element. But yeah, log lady rules. Love her. She's got a log.
My cherry pie moment, my coziest moment would be Cooper talking about trees. He really likes those Douglas firs.
He loves those Douglas firs.
And it comes up multiple times, and I love that for him.
Did you like how he said the bureau where he's located is in Philadelphia, and he's so happy to be out of the city, Philly, and out into the countryside, which is where we live.
Chill. It's nice here, too. But it is nice to go on vacation in the Pacific Northwest. He has a point.
Mm-hmm. My Black Lodge moment. I realized this pilot has so many unsettling moments.
That's it was like hard to pick one.
Upon rewatch, I think the first time I was like, this is pretty out there. I like it. I was really moved by the entire lead up to Cooper showing up, which is like even like the first 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. More than usual, like I found myself like kind of choked up during everyone's reaction to finding out that this like 17-year-old child was found wrapped in plastic dead on the beach. Like of Pete out there, Jack Nance, finding her. And I think the moment when Donna realizes and she peeks over and sees that Laura's not there, the police are there, and just starts sobbing.
That is
and they're playing the Angelo score, the Laura Palmer theme, which is the most beautiful piece of music ever written. I was a little hungover, and I was like, think I was already kind of drained emotionally from New Year's Eve and everything. I was really choked up. Like I was like trying to hold back tears, and I was like, and I think the first time I found it awkward, and this time I was like, damn, like this is such a good way to show this actual feeling.
Yeah.
And like really cut deep. I mean, obviously the parents reacting too. I mean,
man.
But either way, Donna and James looking at each other and being like, "Oh my god, did our best friend just die?" And like other kids might not know her, so they're like freaked out, but not the same. And the principal gets on there and he's choked up.
Yeah.
Like,
well, also
I'm getting
like the
emotional
cop
thinking
comes
about
in to like ask a question, and the teacher is clearly so like affected by what she's just heard.
And I'm really excited to see how you see the rest and how this builds and how the town reacts and how I do think there's a lot of complicity. This has been a sneak peek of our new podcast, Welcome to Twin Peaks. Please follow along wherever you find podcasts, and we'll see you in Twin Peaks with a fresh cup of coffee.